Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk a little bit about pan watercolors versus the ones in the tubes. This again is for beginners or those that are just getting into watercolor, wanting to know what the difference is between the two. Basically, nothing. The pans are designed obviously to be put in a box similar to this and to be portable. If it's the same grade watercolor, they should be the same what you get in a tube as it is in a pan. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a couple of minutes. So all of these watercolors in this pan here particularly are Winsor & Newton watercolor paints. They're the professional grade. And the reason I chose that, because at the time, about 12 years ago, that was the best on the market that I could find in my area. Now there are so many different paints and paint companies. They're kind of all, I think, much for muchness. It comes down to personal preference, what's available in your area and how much things are. So let's have a look at the tubes now. Now you'll notice I've got a selection of a few different tubes here. And we'll take this one out. This one is gouache. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I have here some smaller tubes. These are Winsor & Newton. This is what I use daily, all the time. And the reason that I get the tubes is because originally I bought this and it was a 24 pan watercolor set. Once I had figured out the colors that I liked and that I used the most often, I replaced the small, what we call half pan, with a full pan, which was larger. And you can see that I've got quite a few full pans in here, and these are my most used colors. So now, because it's more economical for me, I buy these tubes, which for Winsor & Newton come in a 5mm tube. Maybe a little bit hard to see, but we'll see if we can focus. 5mm tube, and I can get about 2 or 2.5 of the full pan refills out of this one tube, which is great. I'm quite happy about that, and I find it more economical to do it that way. Get the focus back, sorry about that. Okay, this here is also Winsor & Newton, however it is the Cotman set, and it's what we call a student grade set. Now I find this quite interesting. This is an 8mm, but because it is classed as a student grade, it is apparently of lesser quality. However, when I flip them over and I read the details, all paint is made up of coloured powder, and that powder is mixed with something to give it the consistency that we can use to paint with water. So every brand has their own mixture of how they do it. But what I found interesting, the difference between the student grade and the professional grade is actually not much. It tells us what pigment is in this particular student grade. It says PV19. So P stands for pigment, V in this case stands for violet, and the number 19 means that this company has used a violet shade of pigment, specifically number 19, and there could be all different numbers, but that's the one that they've used to make this color, which they call permanent rose in the Cotman set. And for their professional, interestingly, they have made PV19 out of this. So what's the difference, and is there a difference? Let's have a look. So I've got some swatches here. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit, and the good thing about watercolors is a little bit goes a very long way. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of water, and I am picking up just some of the pigment, really small bit on there. You can see just how vibrant that has made that little swatch there. Now you can go deeper. I have a tutorial about like playing with your colors to get the differences. Okay. You can see in this little example here, as the water has flowed out, it's gotten lighter. So we've got quite a dark color here, and as the water, as it gets less pigment and more water, it lightens the color. Let's compare it with the Cotman, which is exactly the same pigment, However, you get more bang for your buck in this one. So let's get a little bit, try and get the same amount, because this is 8 ml of paint compared to 5 ml of the other one. Now I can tell I had the same amount of pigment on my brush, but it definitely didn't have the same amount of paint that came out. I had to put a lot more on. That looks quite intense, to be honest, down the bottom, but I had to pick up a lot more paint in order to get that similar intensity. It doesn't happen with all Cotman colors, but generally that's what I found. Okay. Cotman colors I think are just as good, especially if you're starting out. They're great, but they probably don't have the pigment load, so the amount of powder needed to get that vibrancy for the smaller amount of paint. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. So it's like, it feels like sometimes you need to use more of the student grade to get the same intensity as the professional. This one's also interesting. This is the red, so we had a warm red in my video tutorial a couple of weeks back. Okay, and the same thing, I'll get a little bit of water on my brush, a little bit of pigment. Okay. Okay. And we got quite a dark intensity. Now this particular one, Scarlet Lake, this one uses PR1, I can't read that because my eyes are not good enough, PR188. Okay, so pigment red, specifically number 188. And this one, which is a similar color, uses PR149 and PR253, I think that says, or 255. So it's using 2 different powders to make up the same color, whereas this is using one particular powder to make up this color. And that makes a difference. The more powders you mix, the harder it is to get a very clean color. And that's what you're looking for. So I already had water on my brush. I tried to get some pigment out of that tube. It's a slightly different red. It's hard to see, but I do notice too that it's a little bit grainier than the professional grade. Okay. So similar kind of colors, but that one's definitely a bit grainier. This one seems to blend a lot smoother than this one. And those are the things that you're looking for, and those are the things that end up becoming your preference or not. The reason I chose professional is because I knew I would sell my work in time, and I wanted to find out what was best for me. We have some colours here. Oh look, I've got it all in my fingers. Yeah. That are from a different brand. Now this is Sennelier. I think they're French, yep, French artist watercolour. And interestingly, these 2 particular colours, so this magenta colour and this red, the reason I picked these tubes up is because they're a 10 ml tube and they used exactly the same pigment as the Winsor & Newton ones. So in my opinion, you can see it's double the size. This was more bang for the buck than the Winsor & Newton one. I'll always go Winsor & Newton because I'm used to how that flows, but in all honesty, I have not found the difference between the Sennelier and the Winsor & Newton colour. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's brand loyalty. It's not that, it's just what I got used to. Having said that, I have used a lot of this because I can't tell the difference between these 2 colours when I swatch them out between brands. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube of people swatching out different brands. Like, you can Google them, that's fine, or YouTube, you know, these different swatching colours between brands. So this is the Sennelier, which is this beautiful rich pigment. It's lovely. And I'll get the same with the Winsor & Newton. And I do tests like this just to check, okay, is there any difference between the 2? Can I get away with painting with cheaper materials? I generally don't, but I'm always interested in experimenting and finding different things to play with. Okay? So apparently with Sennelier, they use honey to help mix those pigments together. And you can see between these two, there is a slight difference in how they react with the water on the page. It's one of those things that are so nuanced and so hard to pick up, I guess, that it doesn't really matter in the long run. I mean, it's marginal, the difference. Just get what you can and just get the cheapest that you can get away with, or the most expensive you can afford. It's up to you, and just play. You can always get good results with whatever you get used to, which is absolutely fine. The difference between the pans and the tubes is the tubes, they tend to stay moist a lot longer, whereas the pans harden up, which you can see here, and that's what makes it so good for being on the go. Other than that, me personally, there is not much difference. If I'm going to make a huge painting, which I don't, I would use one of these, tubes, squeeze it out onto a palette, or one that I can mix onto, and mix up the color beforehand. But because I work so small and a lot of my mixing happens on the page, I don't need to worry about it so much. Then we have gouache, which is a whole different ball game, whole different video. It's basically watercolor mixed in with like a chalky kind of material. And what that does is it makes the work look very flat and very much like poster colors and more like acrylic paint, I guess, but with a very flat matte finish, which is also very nice. These come in a lot bigger tubes, obviously, because there is a lot more bulk to go into that tube in order to make up that very flat, hard to see through consistency. Very quick video. I talk a lot again, but I hope it gave you a little bit of insight as to the difference between tubes and pans, and also some of the student grade and the professional grade. For me, I will stick with the professional grade simply because I'm selling my work. I haven't done any tests about how long the student grade paint lasts if it's exposed to light or air or environmental things like that. I don't use it, so I don't need to figure that out. I know that the professional grades have been through many tests and that they will stand the test of time, so I'm happy about that. Other than that, I think that's all for now. Again, go through the colors that you have, experiment, play, see how they mix and see how they go with each other, and that will give you a fantastic base for figuring out what to do in the future and what colors you like.